Now what we want to do is we want to do a nozzle check. I'm going to go ahead and grab a transparency sheet. Now you get a little packet with 5 of them, and these transparency sheets can be used over and over again, but basically what you'll want to do is use it. After you use it, you can take a little bit of Windex and a paper towel and just spray the paper towel with a little bit of fluid and then wipe it off. And these can be reused. So what I'm going to do is I need to basically place this sheet on the shirt, and I can, with our newest software, if your version of firmware is 7.11, actually I take that back. If it's 7.1 or 7.26 or earlier, we're going to take this sheet of film and we're going to move it probably about an inch off of the platen towards you and off the edge there, because we need to capture this nozzle pattern. With 7.27, which, if you're watching this video, it is the latest version with any printers that have shipped from here on out. Basically, we can still have the film hanging off the edge to the right, but we can actually flush this film to the top. But I'm going to leave this off just temporarily, and I'm going to walk over and I'm going to, under the Mod Key Manager, I'm going to choose Nozzle Check. If I hit Nozzle Check, you can see the platen moves in and it stops. And on the screen here, it says Position Transparency, then click OK when ready. So I'm just going to open up this lid and I'm going to slide this in here. And I'm just going to, again, kind of flush it to the front, and I'm going to butt the film over to the inside wall and then back just slightly. And then go back to the screen, and I'm just going to hit OK. And now the printer is going to release the nozzle check, and we're going to print the nozzle check on our transparency film. And what we're going to look for is a pattern. Now, in the mod manual, there's actually a visual of what this pattern looks like. But we're going to go ahead and print it here as well. All right. So, on a black background, we can see we have a pattern. There's actually 8 patterns, and it's a stair-step pattern, but we have 4 here, which are color, which obviously is very difficult to see on the black, but we have our white pattern, 3 of them here and 1 here. This is channel 1, 2, 3, and 4 of white. So it's basically this channel, this channel, this channel, and the last channel, the 4th channel, is the pattern down here. Now the pattern down here is a little bit different than what's up here. And the reason why it's different was because on the original Epson 1800 that we've used for this system, the last channel was clear, so you can't see clear ink. So Epson had created a pattern here that you can actually see where channels were dropped out. If any of these channels have been dropped out and it's not firing, you would see missing spots. The same way right here. You can see it's a perfect checkered pattern. If it wasn't, you would have dropped out spots. Now a lot of times with the new install, that's air in your ink, technically in your print head. And if you run a simple clean or anything like that, it usually works itself out. But if you just have 1 or 2 here and there, as long as it's not banding in your print, and again, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but if it's not banding in your print, then you're going to be okay. If we were to look at this pattern, we put it on a white background, and we can see our magenta, cyan, and black are very prominent, and we can see all the nozzles are firing, and the yellow is a little bit more difficult to see, so sometimes you can just take it and just angle it slightly at light, and you can see if all the pattern is there. And in this situation here, we actually have 100% nozzles. Every single nozzle is firing. And again, if it wasn't, that's okay. It could just be a little bit of air in the print head itself upon startup. And again, typically that doesn't harm it, and only if you're printing and you see light areas or dark areas where it appears that it's not printing correctly, then we go back and we might have to do a head clean or something. But in this case, we're pretty good. And again, I can wipe this off, and it's better to wipe it off when it's still wet. But we can go ahead and wipe that off and have a clean transparency for the next time around.